Hello, trading has closed on September 10th, 2025. As always, we'll start with our disclaimer. We'll go over our calls, we'll make our predictions. We also have a message from Norm Winski, who's had some personal business and who sent me a report a few days late because of a personal issue. This is my trading plan for tomorrow, September 11th, 2025. Remember, it's a plan. I've got no money on it this time. It's just a plan. I can be wrong. Trade at your own risk. I also want to say all people of any political persuasion are absolutely appalled at the senseless murder today of Charlie Kirk, who was killed for exercising his right to free speech and for no other reason. This is a guy who had beliefs, he stated them, as all Americans are free to do. He's not that much younger than my own kids. He grew up in the same neighborhood where I lived for nearly 30 years. It's absolutely, totally appalling. I want to get into my forecast in just a minute, but as I said, we always like to hear from Norm Winski. He's a real pro. He's been doing this almost as long as I have. And these were the date. This was sent the 5th of September. 5 days isn't the end of the world. I'm just going to review what he said. Green is a winning prediction. Red's a losing one. Yellow means no trade. So as usual, he's full of greens, a few reds, and a winning thing. You can read these things yourself. And that's some more winnings trades there. Another winner. That's a pretty good one in the sugar market. Don't forget, these are markets, commodities, where 95% of all people lose money, and he has a winning record month after month after month. Here's some more winners on the S&P, T-bonds. Currencies are supposed to be good to trade. I've never traded them. Bunch of winning trades. About 79% winners in an asset class where most people lose. And he's been on my channel now for quite a few years, and he keeps winning. This is his planetary model. I can tell you I saw this well in advance. This is his call. This is the real thing. This was his prediction. This is on a daily chart. He does this right after the Super Bowl every year. You can see the forecast and the actual are pretty close. These are the dates he had, the 5th. Well, that's already passed. So he was going to do this on the 5th, but he had a personal issue. He does have a free offer for the first 5 people who contact him by September 17th. You get a free class, good price. He tells you how he does his stuff. He'll give you his forecast for 28 markets. He doesn't charge for it. Trying to make this go down further. Here's how to contact him. 239-594-3939. His email is nwinski@yahoo.com. And you don't get people giving away their stuff for free very often, especially people with a track record like Norm's. Okay, back to what I said. Here's what we said. We said we had a lower MEJT target unless we gap up smartly. The rules call for it to print. Well, we gapped up smartly, so there's no call. These targets will print at some time, 6503.87 and ultimately 6502.83. Again, I get about 150 ultimate targets a year. I think you've had 7, maybe 8 ones that didn't print, and that's in 23 plus years. So the odds are pretty good we're going to see those numbers. Doesn't mean we see them tomorrow, but we gapped up, hit a higher high, closed under all the highs, and even closed under some intervening lows. Now that's pretty negative stuff. Of course, time doesn't run out until tomorrow, and there's an economic report coming out tomorrow. There's a favorable response to the report, and we open up here, all that negativity goes away. And again, time has not run out, but this is a usually bullish pattern. Failure is a straight line drop. I guess you could call that a straight line drop, but usually it's straighter and more aggressive than that, and usually it closed near the low. So it's not picture perfect, and the odds are pretty great we're going to gap up smartly tomorrow or gap down smartly tomorrow. I know what I'd like to see. I'd like to see us gap down, hit these targets, find support, and then recover. But I have nothing saying for certain that that's going to happen. I mean, it's a possible pathway. I'm not saying it's the only pathway. So MEJT said this drop is not for keeps. Gives us the target 65.4305. We add these other targets to the list. We use the mixed signals rule. I'm looking for a pretty big gap tomorrow as the most common occurrence. Most common. Thursday's pattern has the early high regardless of where we open. There's a major economic report coming out before the open. I can't predict the response to these reports with any accuracy. I don't try. I'm always flat going into them. If I miss a winner, I miss a winner. I just don't like to take losers. There's a higher target. If we don't gap down smartly, the rules call for it to print. Remember, there's a greater incidence of failure when we're near a possible change. With a higher target is a bullish pattern. We gapped up, hit a higher high, but closed under prior highs, even under prior lows. And this is a pattern which usually finishes up, and that's bearish stuff. So one possibility, I'm penciling this in, as we drop to the targets generated yesterday and then retrace to hit today's target. Doesn't all have to happen in the day. I don't really have a good wave count saying this rally's over, but that doesn't mean we can't have a sizable correction first. This is support. And if we do gap down and support holds, we could still recover and hit the target. But I'm going to wait for the report. As I've said before, I have some targets. These are not only targets, they're support resistance areas. I plan to use them tomorrow, but until the report comes out, I'm keeping my powder dry. It's the pattern with the early high, and that's today's call.